Good morning, everybody. Welcome to McGrath's School of Isshinryu. Today is Friday, November 7th, 2014. It's now about 8:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I'm broadcasting live from Wake Forest, North Carolina. We build these little video sessions about the katas so that we can show them to the students. And what we're going to do now is we're going to open up a YouTube video channel on this Hangout. And we're going to attach the Seisan Kata video. Let's see what we do here. What we'll do is we'll go in Seisan Kata, and we'll get the founder. We have the videos running of Shimabuku Sensei doing the Seisan Kata. Let me save this playlist so that it's attached to our videos. And we'll just call it Seisan, Seisan, Seisan Kata. So Hangout. We'll go create play. And this way, what will happen now is, folks, the playlist will be attached to this Hangout session so you can view it. Right now, we're running Seisan Sensei doing the Seisan Kata. And just want to point out some of his feet exchanges or foot exchanges in the kata. It's very important that you pay strict attention to the footwork. It is Seisan Kata, so we do require you to be in a heel-toe configuration, Seisan stance most of the kata. There are some transitioning of the stances, which is very, very important to the youngsters. We want the youngsters to learn how to transition their stances cleanly and smoothly. Again, this is a video of Sensei Sloan out in Okinawa, the one now that's playing where he's on the rooftop. The first one we played, he was indoors. This one, he's outdoors. Again, here's his Seisan Kata. Most of what we want you to point out here in this video is, again, footwork, the position of his hands and his feet when he does the kicks, what he's hitting, what his targets are, how you go about transitioning your stance from Seisan into some of the other stances that are in the kata. You get introduced to a lot of different things here in this first kata, so it is essential that we don't miss anything, so that you understand it, so that you get it in your head when it's time to learn these different exchanges and where your feet belong. It's so important for you to be somewhat of a craftsman and a technician when it comes to application, the bunkai, posture, breathing, all of the things that all the components. Now we're going to switch videos to, again, our founder in the 1966 films. Shimabuku Tatsuo Sensei is going to go through Seisan, Seiyuchin, and Naji in this last video that's attached to the Hangout. Yes. The kata has evolved over the years, so you will see some movements. Excuse me. You will see some movements in the kata that may look a little different to you, and that is because the kata has evolved over the years. But the stances and the transitioning of the stances are still very, very critical and important for your brain to understand how to do it and how to do it properly. Sensei McGrath always tried to save a couple of tenths of a second off of our delivery because it may mean the difference of you being successful and not being successful. So looking at this content the way the founder does it, I'll say it again on this video. He never looks like he's straining. He never looks like he's doing too much. Never looks like he's doing too little. It looks like he's doing his work. He's not straining. He's not going too fast, not going too slow. It's a good example of how to start. It gives you a good starting point for the youngsters to, aspire to be like the founder and look like the founder and deliver the techniques like the founder. So it's really, really important that we, really take a good look at. Let's put these three up. Yeah, let's put these three up. Where I don't know if wait, let me just check something. Yeah, this is another Seisan. Let's put this one. This has a good depiction. I think they did some work to the films. The films look really, really clear. I love the way he starts this kata out here. It's so clear as to what he's doing. Yeah, the footwork, everything. Everything is everything is so clear in this video. So again, Seisan Kata is the first kata that we're going to start you off with when you come to class, and we're going to break it down for you in sections, just like he's basically doing it here, so that you can get a good understanding of the position of your body, the position of your hands, your feet, the breathing, the target areas, the striking areas, the blocking areas. And then, of course, in this kata, we introduced to you the sunshine breathing method. So that's another portion of what you have to learn in the kata. Again, in other styles, this Seisan Kata is a black belt kata. So we start you off with it. So it's quite demanding in the beginning, but once you learn it, it comes to you as second nature. It's not that big of a deal if you have the right instructor, and the instructor takes you through the foundation of the kata and the architecture of the kata. You'll learn it straight away. But then, as you get once you learn the path in the kata, and you learn what your responsibilities are in the kata, and you can start to break down for the student. Let's say, for instance, the breathing in the kata, and work the breathing aspect of the kata, and then you work your target areas, areas where you're supposed to be hitting, where you're supposed to be blocking. Of course, target areas such as your feet, that you have proper footwork, and then of course working on your speed, starting slow. Learn the path of the kata, start slow, and then as you gradually become more and more comfortable with the path of the kata, you can start to build speed. Don't rush though. Don't. One of the key elements that I bring to the students' attention all the time is that don't rush. Take your time. Learn the architecture of the kata first. In that, once you look proper and you're stepping proper and you're doing the moves proper, you're blocking properly, you're breathing properly. Once you get that down, once you feel comfortable with that, Now you can gradually start to increase your speed. Put a little more emphasis on certain movements in the kata. Add your ki. Work on your kime, your focus. Work on your speed, balance, and focus. Work on your heel toe. Okay, constantly work on that stance, heel toe configuration when you're in Seisan. We use a straight line sometimes when we're out in the dojo outside. We have lines on the driveway where we can use those lines to depict a straight line, so that when they put their heel toe out, they can sort of have something to check, a straight line to check. I also use the bow staff. I'll put the bow staff in between their stand. Excuse me, in between their stance, and make sure that their toes and their heels are in proximity of that straight line. Now, if you have to go a little bit outside of the the parameters of the stance to make yourself feel comfortable, that's fine. But don't go too far. If you go too far, now you are undermining the architecture of the stance. We don't want that. So do yourself a favor, click on the videos. Watch the videos in sections where the first time you watch the video from beginning to end, watch the footwork. Next time you watch it, watch the punches. Next time you watch it, watch the kicks. Next time you watch it, watch how he transitions from stance to stance. And break the kata down so that in your mind you can understand what you are. That's why we build these little sessions, so that when the students are working on Seisan, they can click on this video, listen to our, breakdown of what we expect of you, so that when you do the kata, when you're practicing the kata, you don't miss certain things. If you practice kata and you're by yourself and you pick up bad habits, when you come back to the dojo, we're supposed to recognize those bad habits and eliminate them right away. Such as when you do certain movements in the kata, when your hand is supposed to be by your obi and this hand is out working, you shouldn't drop the hand. You should keep it where it belongs. Why? It's a good discipline. It provides for a mentality that says, I know where my hands and feet are, and I know that if I have to call on them, they're in the right position, right? I always tell the students, hands up. Somebody comes into your space, hands up. Put your hands up just like this. Keep them in front of your face. When your hands are down here, it takes a split second to bring them up. That split second may not be enough time for you to block. Okay, so that's why when you feel the threat, bring your hands up. Put your hands up. It's one of the most common mistakes that young students make, especially when we do kumite sessions, which is the freestyle fighting. Sometimes their hands have a tendency to be down, and if you think you're so fast that you can stop, a punch with your hands down, you're taking a chance, and we don't want that. We don't want that. We would rather have you safe. Don't blow these assignments up. These are important, assignment areas, these two hands, okay? And when they're up by the face like this, all I'm doing is saying, stop, 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 relax, stop. What did I do? Stop, stop, stop. That's what I'm doing with my hands out like this. But at the same time, they're in position should you flinch at me and go to punch my head. All right. Isshinryu. Isshinryu karate is a modern Okinawan style of karate. It was born in the 50s. Okay. Shimabuku Tatsuo Sensei took the best of the Goju-ryu system and the Isshinryu system and melded and built the architecture of Isshinryu. So we are very privileged and very gifted to have a modern style of karate that comes from the island of Okinawa. Now, when we had and his son Moose Gates on the program two weeks ago, One of the things that Professor Cates brought out in that radio interview was that, yes, the style was born on Okinawa, was built by an Okinawan, um, but he, not but, I shouldn't say but, I'm sorry. He made the system and taught it to the Marine Corps, the fellas that were stationed on the island of Okinawa, serving in the Marine Corps at the time. So I don't want you to think that, oh, he made the style for the Marines. That's not what I'm saying. But if you listen to what Professor Cates said on the program, most of the students that he had at that time when the system was born in the 50s, he somehow in the, with those United States Marines, and again, not saying that he didn't have any students that were from Okinawa, he did, but the majority of the people that he taught when the system was first born were United States Marines. Just by chance, they happened to be stationed on the island. The karate was being developed somehow or another. The two entities came together, um, and it's our lineage. That's how our lineage was born. Sensei Nego was stationed on the island of Okinawa. He met Tatsuo Shimabuku and started taking lessons. While he was stationed on the island of Okinawa, was very active with the sensei, um, proved himself, to the people that they had the ability. When he brought the style home, he landed here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I'm in Wake Forest. Jacksonville is about 2 hours from here, down by Camp Lejeune. He pals up with Professor Ernie Cates in that dojo, in that first, it was a judo dojo. And Don Nagel, because he had the Isshinryu curriculum with him, started to teach at that dojo with Professor Cates. And they credit that dojo as being the first first American Isshinryu dojo in the United States. Now, when the other Marines came home and they went back to their respective areas, obviously people like Harold Mitchum, Steve Armstrong, Smith Sensei, all the first gen guys opened up their own dojos, and that's how Isshinryu has spread across not only America and Canada, but South America and around the globe. There are a lot of different fractions of Isshinryu around the globe. Our lineage, the Nagel lineage, has its characteristics. Let me put it that way. This way I don't offend anybody. Okay, I don't mean to offend anybody. But I do want to bring to the forefront of my statement that our lineage under Nagel Sensei, not that it's any better or worse than anybody else's lineage. It's just that his the proof is in the pudding. The work that Sensei Nagel did not only impressed the founder, Shimabuku Tatsuo Sensei, but also some of those first generation students like Harold Long Sensei, like Mitchum Sensei, Armstrong Sensei. All of these guys all agreed that Sensei Nagel, again, not that he was anything special or anything like that, it's just that he had this innate ability and talent. When it came to my sensei, Ed McGrath, said that Don Nagel was born to join the Marine Corps, go to Okinawa, and learn Isshinryu because he was just a natural at it. Again, not saying that any of the other first generation students any better or worse, just saying that his ability, once the founder spilled onto him the architecture of the Isshinryu curriculum, he got it, okay, and he got it very well. And he brought the karate home and teamed up with Professor Ernie Cates. that dojo turned out some of the finest Isshinryu karateka on the planet. Now, again, that's not just me saying that. That is that other, even if you listen to Professor Gates' interview on our show, Modern Combat Masters, he mentioned that out of that dojo came some of the pioneers of martial arts in this country. Oh, Sensei Ronald Duncan. Okay, his work speaks for itself. Okay, when I moved to North Carolina a couple of years back, just before O Sensei passed away, he rang me up here at the house, checked in on me, checked in on my sensei, see how I was doing, how Sensei was doing, the family. Just the kind of man that he is and was. Okay, a genuine human being. So that's what came out of that dojo. Sensei Duncan didn't have to call North Carolina to check on Danny Vena, but he did. Okay, he did. There was the type of man he was. There was the type of students that came out of that dojo. They were loyal. They were the best. They were the best at what they did. Okay, having a mentor like Ernie Cates in that dojo is what I guess made these men so great, because he was he is such a great instructor. They got it from him. They really understood, the metal end of the karate, of the judo, of the martial art that they were practicing. Okay. Now remember, martial arts was just being developed in this country as a whole anyway. It did exist, but very sparsely. If there was any karate, if there was any judo, if there was any jiu-jitsu in the country, it was sparse. That's why on our program just this Wednesday night, we had Soke Michael DiPasquale Jr. on the program talking about his father practicing martial arts pre-World War II. Before the Second World War. So these are pioneers. These are men and women that pay their dues. They put in their time. That's why. Now let's get back to the Seisan Kata. The most important issue I can give you to really pay attention to in the kata is, once you learn the Isshinryu architecture, the heel-toe concept, the thumb on top, speed, balance, focus, once you get that in your brain and in your body, and you apply your body mechanic to it, looking at the kata now as a form, because that's what kata is. It's a form, and it's a way to help you become familiar, proficient, and get that ownership of the kata. Once you learn it, we want you to own it. We want you to feel that not and don't misconstrue this the wrong way. Tatsuo Shimabuku developed this kata for us to learn, and learn it the Isshinryu way. Okay. This kata does exist in other forms and other disciplines of martial arts, but I'm referring to it as the Isshinryu Seisan version. Okay, with the architecture that Shimabuku Tatsuo Sensei wanted you to learn, that when you do this kata, you resemble the Isshinryu branch of karate on the island of Okinawa. Now, Andy Sloan Sensei told me something just the other day that, and that, on the island of Okinawa, where the Isshinryu karate curriculum was developed, it's not as popular on Okinawa as it is here in the States. We have more practitioners, I believe, in the United States that practice than on the island of Okinawa. Now, that's not to say that Isshinryu is not popular. It is, but again, those first generation students, when they came back to the United States and started to open up dojos and teach students, look at the work that they did. 50, 60 years later now, look at the amount of youngsters in the systems, young adults, males, females. Look at what's happened to Isshinryu because of the efforts of those first generation students. Nagel was very popular because this is where he lived. He lived on the East Coast of the United States. So he did a lot of traveling up and down, north and south on the East Coast, all the way from Maine, all the way down to Florida. Did he go west? He did. People like Long, like Steve Armstrong, all the way up on the west end of the United States, up in the state of Washington. Yes, those while those men were alive, and whether they would have a tournament, a workshop, a seminar, they did get together. Not as frequently as I would have liked, because we would love to have captured those gatherings on film, because then we would have the history of those activities, documented. However, I do know that Sensei Nagel tried his best, even though he had a very demanding job. He tried his best to get out there to, be that conduit of the Isshinryu curriculum. So having said that, looking at 50, 60 years later now, all of the practitioners in the United States, we outnumber the amount of practitioners on the island of Okinawa. Okay. I can't fix that. Okay. And, I wish I could, but I don't live on Okinawa. So, I do what I can to teach here, in my area, in my community. And then I also travel and go and do workshop and seminar and show the Nagel lineage version of Isshinryu. Okay, we do the katas, we do the kabuto section of the curriculum, we do all the hand-to-hand, we do all of the required curriculum for you to get rank in the Isshinryu system. Okay, each student of ours gets a book, gets a student handbook, and in that handbook is a written explanation of everything that is required, including the techniques. Shalom Sensei has given me his documentation, so I have used some of his requirement pages because I like the way he lays it out, and I like how stringent the promotions are. I mean, it's actually difficult. I go through the testing myself, and I test myself as if I was a white belt, as if I was a green belt, and I try to learn what I'm asking others to learn. Okay, and practicing over and over again does help you. There's no question about it. Terminology. Now, I don't speak Okinawan, I don't speak Japanese, I don't speak Hogan. I think is the dialect of Okinawa. So I don't know how to pronounce the words properly, and with the I've never been to Okinawa. I want to go in 2015, but my son's not too crazy about me going to Okinawa because of the in the proximity of Fukushima. He's just he's very frightened about that. But again, I don't speak the language, so the terminology that I have in the book, of which there are thousands of terms, in the student handbook. I don't know if I say them all properly. MP, Seiken, and all of that, Seiyuchin or Seiyuchin, Sanchin, all of that. I do the best I can. I listen to others and try to mimic the way they say it. But again, building Seisan Kata is what this session is about, not how I say it. I try my best to listen to tapes and again, try to mimic how they would say it properly. But again, whether I say the word Seisan properly or not, I have been practicing the kata for over 4 decades. I have much improvement to make in the kata. So I think it's essential that practicing it every day keeps you fresh, fluent, and proficient. I think that you have a good opportunity to check and balance yourself when you do it slowly. And as you build speed in the kata, you want to uh, again not cheat. You don't want to do things that will make you look fast, but you're missing your targets. That's not what the kata is about. Right? It's more about your structure and your understanding of what your assignments are in the kata. So take a look at the videos. If you have any questions, you can email me. My email is kudan59@gmail.com. Kudan59@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll try to answer any questions that you have. And that practice is the one thing that will help you get some of the questions answered, because if you do it over and over and over again and you're not comfortable, you'll bring it to somebody's attention. Why this, why that? So it's very critical that you practice and practice diligently, because if you want to get good at it, the only way to really get good at it is repetition, doing it over and over and over again, and then having quality instruction around you to make sure that you're not blowing assignments, that you're not doing things, that you're not picking up any bad habits. Okay, so check out the videos. If you have any questions, send me an email. And that this video again is based around the Seisan Kata. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the 8 empty hand katas: Seisan, Seiyujin, Hanchi, Wansu, Chinto, Kusanku, Sunsu, and Sanchin. So that we'll have the 8 empty hand katas with both the founder doing the kata, as well as some other black belts that we would like to attach to the video. Sloan Sensei is definitely one of them. Check out the videos. Check out the process of watching the videos. Like I said, each time you watch the videos in sections. Watch the hand movements, the foot movements, the stances. Each time you watch the video, concentrate on one issue, whether it be the punches, the kicks, the blocks, the breathing. Try to watch the kata and pay attention to one thing at a time. This way, each time you watch the kata, you will break it down into, let's say, I have a chart, and I have a chart with all the different headings that say breathing, kicking, punching, blocking, stances, and each time I watch the kata, make a little check if I have any notes, if I have any questions. Keeping these things documented is so important, because when eventually you become a black belt and you become an instructor, you're going to want to answer questions for your students. Well, showing them some of the questions you had when you were learning is very important. That's what I do with my students. I will take out my book and I will show them, look, when I was younger, this is what I struggled with. These are some of the questions that I wrote down when I was, a youngster. All right. And having those documented questions, answers, showing your journey. Once you're an instructor, showing your journey to the students is very important to them, because it makes the correlation in their mind. Hey, at one time, Sensei had to learn this stuff too. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right, so check out the videos. Any questions you have, give me a buzz, and we look forward to bringing you into the next hangout for our Seiyujin Kata. All right, that's going to be the next video that we're going to build next. Again, we will have the videos attached to that Hangout. And once it's on the clouds, folks, it's there forever. All right. So thanks for tuning in. I welcome you to my YouTube channel anytime. And that anything Isshinryu, feel free to shoot me a line, and I'll do my best. If I can't answer it, I'll get the answer for you. There's a lot of black belts out there that know things that I don't know, okay? And we use them. So stay tuned. Thanks, everybody.